All right. When were you born?
May 7th. That's my birthday. I was born on my mom's birthday.
What year were you born?
53.
53.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the fashion like?
Khakis, like you have. A button-up shirts. Maybe some t-shirts. T-shirts are worn underneath the clothes. Not usually, I don't remember it being on top so much. When we went to church, it was very formal. We wore suits and ties. And black seemed to be in. Just hats were worn. Probably not like ball caps so much for just to wear around the streets. But there were these, I'm trying to describe the hats, or it's like a formal looking hat.
What were some things you did in your free time?
Oh goodness, I did. We played tag football in the streets. I remember playing in the streets, and man, we could run. You do your fakes and moves, and then we would just laugh and say that we faked somebody's socks off, or so his socks on the ground right there. And so you had pride in being able to be evasive. So we played flag football. We actually played baseball in our backyard. A home run was we had electrical lines going through the yard, so in the back of the yard, just outside the yard. And so a home run was over the top of the electrical line. If you hit it over there, that's a home run. And so I look at the yard now and I said, man, that was so small. I couldn't believe we played, but we did that.
What was your favorite music during those times?
I would think, I know that I enjoyed a fairly eclectic person in music. I enjoyed Temptations and the Mandrills and even the Beatles, and there was a lot of other groups too that sang songs that I thought were appropriate, and I enjoyed those songs. The songs seemed to have a message to most of the songs. That wasn't, Diana Ross, you probably never heard of her, and the Supremes. Michael Jackson was from Gary, Indiana. You probably didn't hear about him at all, maybe later in your lives. What a great entertainer he was, very talented. Didn't hear much country there, but even as I went to college, there was country that I enjoyed, like Willie Nelson. I just love Willie Nelson's voice.
What were your views on the women's right movement?
And the women's right movement. I grew up in a community where, again, it was never an issue, anything against women doing things, because in the African American community, that was the least concern. That was not the highest concern. The highest concern is probably dealing with racism, discrimination, how you're treated, and that sort of thing.
What was the world like when MLK got assassinated?
It was like a really terrible day. A lot of tears, a lot of crying, and there was just like mass hysterics at my school. I wouldn't think of it then because I was so young. I think I was about 4th grade or so, 10 years old, 50, 60, 10 years old then. So it was mass hysteria, and I remember that in the school, I was in school, and when it came over the intercom, just sent the information through the intercom in the school system. I remember the funeral services and the number of people that came out, the dignitaries and the president. And
When you were younger, would you classify yourself more as a hippie culture or counterculture?
you know, I've never been countercultural, meaning that my issues or my modus operandi stands against the culture.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never been really countercultural. I've been about bettering the culture, about bettering the community. What can I do to better things?
This is kind of a hard question, but
Okay.
What was your favorite movie?
The first thing that came to my mind was King Kong. I know that's silly. And I enjoyed this big gorilla that was gigantic. Gorilla. Not just big.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not even linebacker big. He's like freight train big. And that was kind of enjoyable. But I think probably the most favorite movie that I, throughout my lifetime, I remember was Superman.
Yeah.
And I mean, I got several movies I watched, but Superman, he was just so right,
Mm-hmm.
so clean,
Yeah.
always righteous. I mean, that just gets to me.
Yeah.
Just doing the right thing all the time.
How were your living conditions from where you lived?
You know, I look back at the house that I was raised in the inner city there. I look at the homes now when I go back, and when as a kid, I thought we really were well off as a child. I didn't think anything about all of that. When I go back now and I look at the homes, my parents always had the value that I don't care if you live in a 10-foot rat hole, let it be the cleanest rat hole in the whole community. And
Yeah.
that's the way they raised us. Our school was pretty violent school. So I remember the first day of school, there was this gang fight, and a kid was shot and killed. And the shootings were just a common thing. And gang violence was just common. So the first day of school, the kid was shot and killed in Gary, Indiana. I think I remember the kid too. I got his face right in my mind.